Fujifilm recently released their first one-to-one true macro lens, the Fujifilm 80mm f2.8, and today we're going to take it for a spin. So right now I'm shooting on the XH1 with the Fuji 80mm on the classic chrome film simulation, and all my photos look awesome, and this autofocus is so quick and reliable. It's a combination of the XH1's amazing speeds plus the new focus system in this lens. It's fantastic. It's pretty good for street photography too. So upon holding the Fujifilm 80mm macro, it is a bit long, but as far as macro lenses go, it is compact and quite light. If you're a user of manual focus, it has a ginormous focus ring, so it's super easy to use and it's also very smooth. It's got a couple switches on the side, so you've got a optical image stabilization switch, as well as a focus limiter. So you can focus limit it between 25 centimeters to 50 centimeters, 50 centimeters to infinity, or use the full range of the lens. Other things to note about the lens as well, it is completely weather sealed and it is fluorine coated to get rid of all those easy to put on smudges and other elements of nature. So if you're wondering what I meant by true macro at the beginning of the video, basically the Fujifilm 80mm macro has a magnification ratio of 1:1. So whatever subject you're shooting will basically be projected back onto the sensor at the same size. For example, if you're shooting a 1 centimeter fly, it will be projected back onto your sensor at 1 centimeter. If you're using the Fujifilm 60mm macro, which has a magnification ratio of 1:2, it will be projected back at half the size onto your sensor. For macro enthusiasts, this is really important, especially to do with their composition. Are you recording? Not only is the autofocus super quiet and it's fast, the image stabilization in the lens is actually amazing. And honestly, combined with this XH1, it is a joke how good it is. It's so stable. I'm probably the worst macro photographer ever. So after using this for a good half an hour, it is so fun to shoot. Like, I've never had this much fun shooting macro, and this lens is super versatile as well. It is amazing for portraiture. There are a couple shots I just did of Josh, who's currently filming, and the bokeh looks amazing, and every single image I've shot on this is super sharp, like ridiculously sharp. I'm very impressed with what Fuji have put out. This is amazing. So just going to go over some good things about the Fujifilm 80mm macro. Firstly, the image stabilization is absolutely amazing. And I'm shooting in environments like this, where I've just shot my sushi burger, my chips. It's not exactly the brightest place to shoot. And I've been shooting at with 1/40, 1/50 at f2.8 pretty well. So props to the image stabilization for that. In terms of the autofocus, it is super quick and very, very quiet. Like, you don't even hear the motor at all. It's phenomenal. And most importantly, the image quality, from what I can see at the back of the camera, looks amazing, but I'll go into more detail in the next segment. In terms of things that I don't like about the lens, it's got this weird knocking thing. I'm gonna guess it's the image stabilization as well as the new floating autofocus system. So when you're carrying it around, just please be careful. Maybe get a really padded bag or be very cautious doing swift movements because it may damage the internal parts. And now it's time to talk about the Fujifilm 80mm features. The Fujifilm Macro 80mm f2.8 is equivalent to 120mm in full frame. It's constructed with one super ED element and 3 extra low dispersion elements to control chromatic aberrations and color fringing. It incorporates a floating focusing system which employs 2 distinct groups of elements for faster performance and maintains image quality throughout the focusing range. To pair up with that as well, it uses a quiet linear autofocus motor for super quiet performance. The lens is weather sealed and is fluorine coated to protect it from the elements and fingerprints. And lastly, it's image stabilized to compensate up to 5 stops of camera shake. Now to talk about image quality. The image quality is ridiculously sharp, so much so that I think this is their sharpest lens to date. The details wide open are amazing and it is sharp from corner to corner. With vignetting, there is not much, and even more so when shot wide open. You can definitely see that there is focus fall off, but it is pretty gradual, making it less noticeable. Coming from a complete macro amateur, I can safely say that this bit of glass can help anyone shoot amazing macro photos. In conclusion, the Fujifilm 80mm Macro is an amazing lens. It's super versatile and perfect for portraiture and close-up work. It's tack sharp, autofocus is super quiet, and with the amazing image stabilization, it's super easy to get an amazing shot using this lens. If you have any questions about the lens, make sure to pop them in the comments below. If you love our content, make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, where our links are in the description below. And if you enjoyed our video, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on our next video. Other things as well, in conclusion, the Fujifilm 80mm Macro is one of the best lenses Fujifilm has put out, and honestly is one of the best lenses that Fujifilm has put out, and honestly one of the best lenses that this wind is putting out. I am the Pigeon King.